Ready? Let's get them. Nice shooting, boys. On this episode of Ducks Unlimited Television, we're in West Texas, shooting Sandhill cranes. So today we set up right next to a working pump jack. But that's where the birds wanted to be. It's a dry year in West Texas. The birds came right in, and it was really a great hunt.
You know, a lot of people have asked me over time, why do I love duck hunting more than I love the others? And for me, it's like the dance. You're calling to try and see if they'll come dance with you.
We're a bunch of determined individuals, and we push for wetland conservation. It is our passion.
Get 'em. Well done!
Right. To see them cut and dip and weave.
But seeing those ducks decoy and seeing that acrobatic moves in the air is something I never get tired of.
It was like the epitome of puddle duck hunting.
To watch the birds work is the real objective of the hunt.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting.
Hi everyone, Betsy Nabel here again with another thrilling Ducks Unlimited TV episode. Our friend David Schuessler, DU's Chief Event Fundraising Officer, takes the hosting reins this week for a North Texas adventure featuring Big Sandy, the Sandhill Crane. These big birds offer challenging hunting and unbelievable table fare, earning the well-deserved nickname Ribeye in the Sky. All next, right here on DUTV.
So when you're hunting cranes in West Texas, you never know where you're going to be set up. First morning we drive up and there's a pump jack running. And there's a little bit of water around it, probably from a rain 3 or 4 days ago. I thought we were getting out to figure out how we're gonna get around this mud puddle. No, that's where we're setting up. And so out you pull your blinds, out pull the decoys. It seems weird, but we knew that's where the cranes wanted to be. That's one of the things that's so neat about hunting cranes in West Texas. You have to go where the birds want to be, and sometimes it's a place that you wouldn't dream of hunting in 100 years, but that's where you find yourself setting up. You got beeping, you got a pump jack going. It's like everything you don't want to do for duck hunting, you come and do for crane hunting because you have a puddle in front of you where they need to come get a drink. The greatest challenge in crane hunting is not being seen. These birds have eyesight that's better than turkeys. And so our blinds are completely enclosed with just small slits cut out of the cover to be able to see the birds. So you have your decoys in front of you. They're tightly placed for a reason. You need them there so you can see the cranes when they hit the hole so you can make the shot. Yeah, how loud these things are flying over. Imagine how loud it is in the middle of a flock of them. There is nothing like one, much less 4 or 5 Sandhill cranes floating into your spread. It seems like they take forever, and it seems like they're going so slow because of how large they are. And they're so loud that you can't even hear your hunting partner next to you talk. You almost have to yell where the birds are and where to find them when you throw the lids in the decoys. Now, it is a unique experience and one that I believe every waterfowl hunter, or really every hunter out there should experience at least once in their lifetime. Well, we came here for right here, Sandhill Cranes in West Texas.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting. Mossy Oak Shadow Grass Habitat, the official camo of Ducks Unlimited. Browning Firearms, the best there is. Native Nurseries, hand-selected, hand-grown plants for wildlife. Higdon Outdoors, quality, customer service, innovation, that's Higdon. And Ducks Unlimited's 85th anniversary, celebrating 85 years as North America's leader in wetlands conservation.
Scott and I have hunted cranes together in West Texas for about 8 or 9 years now, and it's a trip that I look forward to every single year. I dearly love where I duck hunt in Arkansas, but to me, coming out to West Texas is just a treat, and it's even better that I get to do it with my good friend and co-worker, Scott Grant. All right.
Pull trigger.
On.
Woo.
The board.
Good job, guys.
But that's one of the neat things about working for DU is people you knew when you were young is to get to work together all of those years and now work together at the event and volunteer management level.
Which is amazing how much we've seen this organization grow through that time, but the relationships we have between volunteers and staff are second to none.
Ooh. Now.
So, one of the best things about hunting and what I find the greatest thing for me is being able to spend time with friends and family out in the blind. I get to spend time today with Richard Godfrey, one of my good friends from Oklahoma, and then also my boss, David Schuessler. David and I go way back, and so do Richard and I, and be able to spend time and see some of the bounties out here that West Texas has to offer is just a great thing.
Scott, you're about my age. We might be the same age. Growing up 70s, 80s, were the cranes here then like they are today?
They've always been
been here.
Yeah. This is it's a prehistoric flight path if you go back and look through some of that, the history.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they've always been here since I was a kid.
So you were eating ribeye of the sky before anybody else knew about it. Now. Nice shot, Scott. Nice shot.
Nice shot.
Woo!
Shooting, guys.
Ducks Unlimited doesn't perform any of our conservation work without partnerships. And here in Texas, we have one of the greatest with Texas Parks and Wildlife. Some of the earliest projects that Ducks Unlimited did outside of the Canadian breeding grounds were right here in Texas. If you had to take a look at that model partnership between Ducks Unlimited and a state agency, it would be Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Playa lakes are naturally formed shallow depressions that fill with rainwater or runoff, providing water, food, and shelter for birds and other wildlife. Playa wetlands are mostly located in the southern Great Plains of the Central Flyway, the major migration route between wintering grounds in the Gulf of Mexico and their breeding grounds in central Canada. During the 1970s and 80s, many farmers and ranchers dug deeper holes or pits in playa wetlands, thinking that it would give them a longer lasting water supply for livestock and crops. This common practice causes structural modifications, altering the hydrology of playas, affecting their waterfowl and shorebird habitat values, aquifer recharge rates, and other important ecological functions. Restoring playa wetlands subjected to pitting and other alterations is an ongoing battle. Since 1989, the Playa Lakes Joint Venture has been restoring native playa habitat. Formed through the North American Waterfowl Management Plan, this partnership encompasses much of the southern Great Plains. Ducks Unlimited, in partnership with the Playa Lakes Joint Venture, developed a geographic information system platform to inventory playa wetlands in this region through a combination of satellite imagery and digital elevation data. This inventory is used to identify playa wetlands most in need of restoration, thereby directing conservation actions to achieve the greatest ecological benefit. Another primary threat facing ecological integrity of playa wetlands is the practice of row cropping to the edge of and often directly through these sensitive wetlands. In turn, playa wetlands without grassland buffers are more susceptible to being filled in by sedimentation from surrounding cropland. The Playa Lakes Joint Venture GIS platform aids planners in characterizing the threat status of playa wetlands, leading to critical restoration efforts to benefit waterfowl, clean water, other wildlife, and people. To learn more about playa lakes and how you can help DU and partners restore them, please visit ducks.org.
DU Insights is brought to you by Mossy Oak Properties. Find your favorite place at mossyoakproperties.com.
Volunteers are critical to Ducks Unlimited's success. We have very few staff out in the field whose job it is to fundraise for the organization. And those volunteers are critical. To work with somebody like Richard Godfrey is a blessing. He has been involved with Ducks Unlimited from a very young age. It was inside of his family. It was expected of him. And he's worked his way through the organizations. And I think he is just a great success story of when you have the passion for waterfowl hunting, when you have the passion for Ducks Unlimited as an organization, and when you're unselfish, it's a picture that looks a lot like Richard Godfrey. Now,
I started going to Ducks Unlimited dinners in probably about 1997, and in 2001, the state chairman at the time asked me to join a chapter. I did not know that that meant that I was going to be in Ducks Unlimited for the rest of my life, but it has been a great adventure. I volunteered with my local chapter, started off as just a regular volunteer, and currently I'm the Senior Flyweight Vice President for Region 8, which is Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Texas. One of the interesting things about crane hunting is the sheer number of birds that are in the area. They're everywhere. They're just everywhere on the landscape out here. When you get to see that many birds, it's really exciting. And then when they actually work into your spread and you see them with 5 to 6 foot wingspans just coming at you, and then they kind of hang up and then they come in, it's incredible. It's watching something prehistoric. They're very wary, and just watching them flirt with you basically is pretty exciting.
Everybody knows the importance of a balanced diet. The same goes for our hunting dogs. We need a premium performance food that encourages development, that provides the energy for our field activities. For over a decade, Wild Rose has selected Purina Pro Plan as our food of choice for our puppies, our adventure dogs, and our hunting companions. Let's take a look at some nutritional strategies that you may find interesting and actually help your dog's performance. Purina Pro Plan has carefully developed formulas based on science that will match any dog's nutritional needs, from puppies to adult foods for active sporting dogs. Even special blends perfect for our senior dogs. With Purina Pro Plan, we are confident we have a balanced diet for our dogs in all life stages. Now, here are a few suggestions on how and when to feed. Obviously, a small pup eats smaller amounts of food at each meal, so more meals are offered per day. We began with 3 feedings a day. By 8 to 10 weeks is 2 a day. For any dog, do not feed when the dog is hot or after exercise. The best time to feed an active dog is 30 minutes to an hour after activity, and not before physical activity. Add a small amount of water to the dry kibble. This will improve digestion and hydration. How much to feed a pup or an active dog? Depends. Decide by visual body conditioning. No overweight dogs. Provide time for the dog to eat, then pick the bowl up. Routine matters. Quick eaters are important when traveling. We don't want to create a nibbler at feeding time. Put the food down, let the dog have time to consume it, then pick it up. It's a habit that will endure a lifetime.
Duck Dog with Mike Stewart is presented by Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. DUTV is powered by Browning Ammunition, the best there is. BioLogic, scientifically proven wildlife products. Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Tetra Hearing, more than hearing protection, it's hearing perfection. Mossy Oak Properties, America's land specialist. Zink Calls, a champion in every call. Closed captioning for Ducks Unlimited Television is brought to you by Mossy Oak Bottomland, the official timber pattern of Ducks Unlimited.
The best tip I ever got about how to shoot out of a duck blind was given to me by a guide in Colorado. He said, get up in a hurry, then take your time. And that's important because a lot of times when you're down in a blind, you can't see the birds. You might have an idea if the guide, the shot caller, is telling you what to expect. You might have an idea, but you can't see them. What you do know when you stand up is what your shooting window will be. It's going to be 10 to 2, so a lot like this cage here on the Sporting Clays course. And so you can set up for that shot. You don't know maybe where in that window you'll be shooting, but you know where you can shoot. So you can set your feet. What I do is set it for the extreme, if you're a right-handed shooter, set it for that extreme right-hand shot, because then you can pivot to the left to cover all the way over to 10 o'clock. Be ready, have your hands on your gun, then you can get up, you're in a hurry, you're in shooting position, then you can find your bird and make the shot. You can practice this too in the off season. Go ahead and bring a bucket out to the gun club if they'll let you. Set it up in a cage like this. Go ahead and practice getting your feet right, practice getting up in a hurry and then take your time. Maybe get up first and then have someone pull the target. Get the idea of getting up in a hurry, then taking your time and making a good shot.
Ducks Unlimited's Guns and Gear is brought to you by Tetra Hearing, built for hunters by hunters. Calls, wings, or triggers, hear the hunt like never before.
I've hunted cranes for many years. Our hunts this year have been great, but to me, the best part of this hunt was getting to share time in the blind with my good friend Scott Grant and my good friend Richard Godfrey. And at the end of the day, that's really the most important thing to me as I go out hunting. It's not necessarily what I bring home in my hand, but the memories that I bring home in my head. And I've got a lot of them from this trip.
Now. So our work that we do with our partnerships, like Texas Parks and Wildlife, are very important to the work that we do. Our missions are much aligned. They are for the betterment of waterfowl and wildlife, which is the same as our mission statement within Ducks Unlimited. So NDU, it's always been said that people come for the cause. That's what brought me here. But you really stay for the people that you meet along the way that have the same interests, the same passions that you do. And Ducks Unlimited, you won't find a more passionate person about waterfowl, wetlands, conservation out there. We're very passionate people, and it's great to spend time in the blind with those passionate people and just be able to enjoy the great outdoors. This has been a great time out here in West Texas. Glad to share it with everybody that we can.
The drive I have to be a volunteer with Ducks Unlimited stems from the fact I get to see those dollars at work. We can go to project sites, we can see where conservation is happening, we can see where wetlands have been restored. Being able to actually see the end result of our efforts has been the most rewarding part for me.
Woo! That's the way to finish it up. Good job, sir.
Good job.
Aren't sandhill cranes spectacular? They are wildly interesting birds in strong population shape across their range. A definite wetlands conservation success story. Heartfelt thanks to David Schuessler, Scott Grant, and Richard Godfrey for allowing the best production team in outdoor television to add some color to the wildlife treasure that is the sandhill crane. Please visit anytime to ducks.org to learn more about sandhill cranes, and thanks for watching Ducks Unlimited Television.
That's a big group.
I'm going to tell y'all something. And I'm man enough to say it. My gun wasn't loaded.